Alright, let's go. It's been 2 months since Maya left the office. 2 months without a single trial. I had offers, but none I took. That is, until the day that girl showed up. February 22nd, 10:02 a.m. Wright and Co. law offices. Why do I come here to the office every day? It's not like I want to work. There you are! Finally! Where have you been? My sister's trial is tomorrow! Who are you? It doesn't matter who I am, it only matters who you are! The famous defense attorney, Mia Fey! Oh, you're not Mia Fey, are you? I'm sorry, but Miss Mia Fey no longer works here. So you are the coffee boy? I'm Phoenix Wright, a defense attorney. Right. Wait! You're the Phoenix Wright? The Phoenix Wright from the Edgeworth murder case? Yes, that's correct. It wasn't Edgeworth who was murdered, though. That's a relief then. You're better than nobody. I'm sorry, I'm afraid I'm not taking cases right now. But you are Phoenix Wright, right? The undefeated defense attorney? Look, I'm not accepting any new cases. I'm sorry, but you'll have to try elsewhere. Please, I'm out of time. But please, you have to help it. It's my sister. Maya? Could it be? Okay, I'll hear you out. Really? Thank you so much! My name's Emma Sky. I'm a scientific investigator. Scientific investigator? Emma, was it? So you're a scientific investigator? Yes, that's right. Is something wrong? No, it's just you seem kind of jumpy, or maybe just young? Young? I'll be 16 years old this year. Oh, I see. Wait, only 16? I'm set to be formally assigned to prosthetics in 3 more years. My work is becoming quite well known, at my age no less. So what exactly is your current position then? Well, legally speaking, I guess you'd call me an 11th grader. But I'm ready to do my job, at my age no less. Great, another future professional in training. So what's this about a case? You said the trial's tomorrow? My sister didn't do it! She wouldn't stab someone with a knife! She wouldn't! So it's a murder case. I don't care if there's a witness who saw her do it, she didn't do it! I know she didn't do it! It's a scientific fact! And there's a witness. Just talk to her! You have to talk to her! Right. I suppose I will. I promised her I'd bring Mia Fey, but... That's interesting. How would she know Mia? So you want to be a scientific investigator when you grow up, then? Excuse me? I'm not a child, I'll have you know. Still, it's good to have a goal, albeit a very unusual one. I believe investigation should be done scientifically. Don't you? Yeah. I sure can't fault her for a lack of enthusiasm. If this case is handled scientifically, I'm sure my sister's name will be cleared. Or using the DS's new features that we're not going to be seeing in this game. Your sister? I've been doing research, you know. I'm developing a new scientific method of case investigation. I'll show you when I'm done. I'm looking forward to it. I guess I should get down to the detention center and talk to her sister. My sister asked for Mia specifically. This Mia Fey person was a few years below her in school. So they went to the same school, huh? She always told me to go to Mia if I ever needed a defense attorney. And well, I need one. Incidentally, Mia is a woman. Now that you mention it, I guess it is more of a woman's name than a man's. Well, it's nice of you to help your sister out like this. You must be close. Well, actually, when she gets like she is now, I kind of hate her. Huh? But she's my only family. Your only family? What about your parents? They died in a car accident when I was little. Oh. I'm sorry. See this? It's my attorney's badge. Ah, well, I've never seen a real one before. Her first one who's actually been interested in mine, believe me. Its composition is mostly silver, the gold plating is flaking a bit. She analyzed it scientifically. There doesn't appear to be any corrosion due to sulfides. I gave you $50 for it. Sorry, but it's not for sale. Yet. February 22nd. Detention Center. Visitor's room. I wonder what's wrong with Emma. She got quiet all of a sudden as soon as we arrived. God, I thought I told you I didn't want visitors. Sorry, ma'am. It's just your sister. No excuses. Or did you not want a raise this year, understood, ma'am. What was that all about? Hi, Lana. Funny. I seem to remember specifically telling you not to come here. Perhaps my memory is failing. Look, I didn't want to come here either, okay? But your trial's tomorrow and you still don't have a defense attorney. I'll be the one in court tomorrow. This has nothing to do with you, Emma. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Hey, how do you know me? Mia mentioned you. I've heard quite a bit. I'm sorry, what exactly is it that you do? My name is Lana. Lana Sky. I'm chief prosecutor for this district. You're a prosecutor? Two sisters, one a lawyer. Could this be a coincidence? Emma, Lana, I mean, they're just like... Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? There's something you should know from the start. Which is? A suspect in this case has confessed to the crime. Huh? But wait, but the suspect is... Me. I did it. Well, Mr. Wright? Well, why don't you begin by telling me exactly what happened? The crime took place yesterday, February 21st at 5:15 p.m. That's quite specific. It wasn't the witness's deposition. A witness clearly saw me committing the crime. That was a bit of bad luck, wasn't it? The crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. The prosecutor's office, huh? In your subordinate's car trunk? Classy. I was arrested on the spot, caught red-handed as it were. Well, that's just great. So, who was the victim? An investigator with the police department. I suppose the correct term is detective. Detective? Death was due to a loss of blood. He was stabbed once in the stomach. By you? Death wasn't immediate, but the wound was fatal. I see. Allow me to repeat myself, Mr. Wright. The victim was a detective. You know what that means, don't you? Uh-oh. What? Mr. Wright? What does it mean? Well, it means the police department will consider it a matter of pride to have me found guilty. They will use any means at their disposal to do so. This case gets worse and worse with everything I learn. So, you're the chief prosecutor? That is correct. I'm responsible for overseeing every trial handled by prosecutors in this district. I make sure the prosecutors have what they need to do the job and manage every aspect. Those are my responsibilities in a nutshell. That's an awfully large nutshell. Still, I'm a little surprised. I would think you'd recognize the district's chief prosecutor, Mr. Wright. Huh? In fact, it seems impossible you wouldn't. Lana? What happened to your hand? Oh, this. I cut myself by accident when I stabbed him, that is. Huh? I'm not very good at being a criminal, I suppose. How am I supposed to defend this? I had to change the subject. Wait, she was in a class ahead of Mia, wasn't she? You were in school with Mia, correct? A few years above her? Emma told you that too, did she? Well, why not? I did drag him all the way here from his office. Although it seems he has very little in common with Mia. Hey! It was in law school. I was in my 3rd year and she was auditing the class. She was different than the other students. Different? She was strong. She'd do anything to become a defense attorney. Anything. That was probably why she was attracted to me. Excuse me? Intellectually attracted. Lana was top of her class in school. I was the best there was. Oh. I'm doing pretty good in school too, by the way. It sounds a bit different when Emma says it. Well, Mr. Wright? Excuse me? As you can plainly see, I am admitting my guilt. I think it's safe to say, there's no way you can take this case. None. But Lana! Why? Why are you doing this to me? You never think of anyone but yourself. I know you didn't do it, Lana. I know. So how can you say you did? If I lose you, I'll be all alone. I hate you, Lana. Mr. Wright? Yes? I believe our discussion here is ended. The rest, I leave to you. You mean you're requesting my services as your defense? Don't lose any sleep over it. Your client has confessed after all. The case is over. Right. I'll do what I can to get to the bottom of this. Lana has confessed to the crime, yes. But something doesn't fit. It's that look in Emma's eyes. There's something else going on here, and I'm going to find out what. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. Huh? About what? My sister. She's not always like that, you know? I just never expected to be defending another prosecutor again. She's changed a lot. She used to be so gentle, always smiling. Everybody liked her. I see. Sorry, but I'm having trouble imagining that. What happened to her? I don't know for certain myself. I think maybe she... well, maybe not. Sounds like there's something there that defies a simple scientific explanation. Let's go check out this underground parking at the prosecutor's office, shall we? Okay. February 22nd. Prosecutor's office. Underground parking lot. So this is a lot where it all happened. Looks like they're still investigating. Funny that my first visit to the prosecutor's office should be like this. Hey everyone! Keep up the good work! Hey, what are you thinking? Well, they aren't going to be my coworkers 3 years from now after all. No harm in saying hello. Actually, there is. You know attorneys aren't supposed to examine crime scenes? I'm trying not to stand out too much here, see? Hey there! You expect to go unnoticed here, partner? Partner? Oh, I thought it would be Gumshoe. What do we have here? Looks like a bambina got loose from the ranch and it's up to no good. Folks gotta learn to keep them doggies tied down, partner. Mr. Marshall! Marshall? Looks more like a sheriff to me. Looky here, bambina. I know how you feel. But this is my gang's gold strike, see? Strike? This is our claim, our territory, with a mother load of evidence. If you're fixing to mix with what's ours, you'll regret it, partner. You know what dreams the cacti out in the desert dream? You want to... What's this guy talking about? We head along home now. Happy trails, bambina. Was that a hombre, a friend of yours? Kind of, sort of, yeah. He's a detective. Who thinks he's a sheriff from the Wild West, it seems? Ooh, a wallet. What's this? A wallet? Excuse me, officer. Wait! What are you doing, Mr. Wright? What am I doing? I just found this wallet, so I'm handing it over to the police. I don't believe it. This is real basic. Anything at a crime scene is evidence. Let's be scientific about this, please. Just put it in your pocket. Do crimes. How's it scientific? Sounds like theft to me. Be lawyer. Do crimes. A foldable wallet found at the crime scene. There seems to be something inside. I'm called to duty already, and at my tender age. Here, I'll teach you the trick to examining evidence in detail, okay? By the way, her eyes are sparkling. I can tell she's been waiting for this. Okay. Now, look at the court record. You have to be sure to examine evidence carefully on all sides. Now, let's start examining from every angle. Ooh, we use a DS's touchscreen feature and then able to rotate the item. Ooh. We're not on the DS, we're on the PC. Oh look, there might be a clue here. You should check it out with a press of enter. Or just hit the exact area. This is an ID card. Sergeant Bruce Goodman, ID number 5842189. See? Well, isn't scientific investigation useful? I guess. I don't see what science has to do with it. Goodman's ID added to the court record. An investigator's ID card found at the prosecutor's office crime scene. Let's be sure to examine every piece of evidence we find. Yeah, let's examine my attorney's badge. So this is what the back of the badge looks like. I always thought it had a safety pin. Each badge has a number carved into it. That way, you can tell which attorney it belongs to. You mean you couldn't lend your badge to anyone? No, I'd be found out right away. Well, that's no fun. Her name and ID number are written here. Sergeant Bruce Goodman, ID number 5842189. I wonder why they only use numbers for IDs. What else would they use? Letters, silly! They're the reason we have a written language in the first place. True. Sergeant Bruce Goodman, ID YABADAB. Yabba dabba doo. See, wouldn't that be better? Yabba dab. Well, it does have a certain ring to it. Exactly my point. Doesn't take much to amuse her. I guess I'll be on my toes from now on. Oh boy, a stepladder. Ah, a ladder! That's a stepladder. What's the difference? In scientific terms, please. Scientific, huh? Look at the basic nature of things, Mr. Wright. This all seems so horribly familiar somehow. Ah, yes, the scene. Ooh, a cell phone. Well, no time to waste. Let's get hunting for clues. I don't know what this is. Well, partner, looks like you got no intention of going home quietly. The sheriff. Like I said before, this here is our claim. You best be moseying along, unless you're fixing to bite the bullet. Yeah, scary. Could you just tell us one thing? Who owns that car? Well, a little filly's got a good nose on her. You want to know who rides that red Mustang with a body in a saddle, eh? Please. No problem, partner. Got time for victuals anyway. Get yourself to the saloon up on the 12th floor of the prospector's office. Prosecutor, but okay. Might just find you a cerveza if you like. Prospector's office? Where does this guy think he is? And when, for that matter? Note to self, look up Vittles Saloon Cerveza. Maybe we should check out room 1202, the High Prosecutor's office. In any case, stay away from the car. You can look around here all you like. Just keep your paws off our claim. Right. Great. Great! Maybe there are some clues around here, Mr. Wright. Let's check it out. Excuse me? Were you two all set? Us? Oh, it's her. What's this? She couldn't be... You're selling lunches? Here? This is a crime scene. Hello. Half and half, was it? Oh, thanks. And you, sir? Yes? Some crunchy goodness coming at you. Thanks. Interesting way of doing business. This area is off limits to anyone without clearance. Especially passers-by, or are you officers? No, but you don't exactly look like the type to have clearance. Well, that's hardly a way to greet someone. Even if my days as a cough-up queen are over. Cough-up? Huh? You know, I'm feeling kind of full. Maybe I'll pass on lunch. I'm quite connected to this case, you see. The images are burned into my eyes, you might say. Yes, all the sordid secrets. Secrets? Dear me, you're a slow one, aren't you? I'm referring to the murder. The stabbing of that detective. What? A witness clearly saw me committing the crime. You mean you're the witness my sister was talking about? Please cough up, Queen. Tell us what happened. Her name is Angel Star. Don't you go forgetting it. Or before you know it, I'll have you whimpering at my heels. Yes, ma'am. Yipes. She means it. Nice to meet you, Miss Angel Star. I am a lawyer. A defense attorney must be able to fight. How about you? Do you think you can win? How about tackling Lunchland's Pickle Supreme lunchbox? Mmm, pickles. Wow, it's really crunchy. I don't like pickles. But pickles made out of radishes. That's great. Box of pickles. Kind of a sad lunch if you ask me. About this card. Lunchland vendors only accept cash, no cards. Especially not a card belonging to someone else. No, this isn't a credit card, it's an ID card. It belongs to a detective. And you're showing me this to me, the lunch lady. Why? That's like showing a fine honeyed ham to a detective. Why do I always feel like I'm being mocked? Somehow, I knew. Yesterday was a day of destiny. I knew something was going to happen. Just like I know that the daily special on Friday every week is salmon. Destiny? Was yesterday special for some reason? You're a defense attorney, right? You should know then. You should know the foul misdeed of the evil ones who haunt this den of inequity. Evil ones? Prosecutors. They have no qualms at all about blackening the name of the innocents. And yesterday, they paid homage to the most evil one of all. They gave an award for King of Prosecutors. What a farce. So she's saying there was some sort of prosecutors convention yesterday? I was almost compelled to lace their lunch with something foul. Do you have personal grievance against prosecutors or something? Or is there some kind of scientific evidence that there's evil? Young miss, mock me at your own risk. You'll soon find out why they call me the cough-up queen. Ew. The most heinous of all the evil ones, the one they awarded yesterday. It was in his car that they found the body. Proof that he devours the evilest lunches of all. Really? Really what? I'm totally confused. One thing's clear, this lunch lady has a thing against prosecutors. So what exactly was that you witnessed, Miss Star? It was a fascinating spectacle, to be sure. I now feel I know what they say when they talk about a woman's wrath. To see Lana Skye wield that knife so. Her knife flashed in anger, bringing him to a sad end. It was truly a sight to see. You mean you saw the very moment of the crime? The sound of his silvery ties to this world being cruelly cut still rings in my ears. And the rhythmic beat of Miss Skye's knife. Wait a second, you know Lana Skye? Of course, it's quite a feat, becoming chief prosecutor. How many lunchboxes of sin did she pack to make that journey, I wonder? She always travels light. Now, why would this pretty lunch lady know the chief prosecutor's name? Can we ask you a bit about yourself, Miss Star? I come here every day to sell lunches. I import only the freshest and best from the Far East. But you're in the Far East. For some reason, the lunchboxes are a hit there. Why not make the lunches here rather than import them? You should say something. No. Only true connoisseurs can understand. The kind you can only tell someone who has tried General Tso's trilobite lunch set. Never mind. You win. I don't even want to appreciate part of a trilobite's flavor. Anyway, I come here every day to sell lunches. My boyfriend works in the security room here at the prosecutor's office. Your boyfriend? Is he the security room over there? The glassy-walled booth? I sell my lunches, and since I'm here anyway, I drop in to see him. Since you're here anyway, selling lunches is more important than romance. So to scientifically analyze the data available so far, you, Miss Star, are a lunch vendor with an ulterior motive for coming here. Useful analysis, not. Did you have a bad experience with a prosecutor, Miss Star? I sense some hostility. Hostility? Huh, perhaps. Prosecutors are all alike, and the bigger they get, the worse they smell. Kinda like a 10-day-old clams in the chowder. I wonder if Miss Star was involved in some sort of legal trouble in the past. That'd be sure cause of food poisoning, scientifically speaking, of course. And now you're talking cop-up, Queen. I thought she was just a lunch vendor, but now I'm not so sure. February 22nd. High Prosecutor's Office. Room 1202. This is the kind of room that just screams, I can do the job. Kind of change from your office, really. Thanks. Look, there's a trophy or something here. A trophy? What, that shield? It takes real nerve to display stuff like this. Whoever's office is it, they must be a real stuck-up jerk. Phoenix Wright. You never tire of prying into other people's business, do you? That voice. Long time no see, Edgeworth. Huh? Ah! Mr. Edgeworth! You know him from somewhere? Of course! I'm his biggest fan! My sister introduced us once and... Right, her sister's a chief prosecutor after all. Well, what brings you here? I'll warn you, I've been known to be a real stuck-up jerk. No, did I? No. It was just Mr. Wright here, he... Hey, don't blame me. We're just here to investigate a murder case. Murder? A body was found in this nasty bright red sports car in the parking lot. Hmm? That would be my car. What of it? What? Your car? I'll say one thing, she certainly can scream. So, the body was found in your car. Go ahead, say it right. You think I did it, don't you? After you went through all that trouble to help me last year, no less. No, we don't think you did it. I mean, it was my sister who stabbed him. Wait, no, she didn't do that, I mean... Wait. So you're the chief prosecutor's little sister, then? Yes, sir. I'm a Sky. It's nice to meet you again. Now that didn't sound forced at all. Ah, now I remember. You've really grown. I'll admit it was a surprise for me too. To think that my own car would become the scene of a murder. More surprising still, I'm being forced to prove my superior's guilt. I can understand. Wait, what did you say? Lana Sky is the chief prosecutor, the top prosecutor in the district. She can't prosecute herself, so I'll be the prosecutor at the trial tomorrow. You, Mr. Edgeworth? To be honest, it's a bit of a miracle I'm still here at all. What do you mean? Rumors. You've heard the rumors about me, haven't you? Miles Edgeworth. It's hard to remember a time when there weren't rumors about this guy. Forging evidence, arranging false testimony, illegal searches, you name it. Thanks to you, my innocence was established in the trial at the end of last year. However, there are some who say I'm the one responsible for the current incident. What? That's crazy. Some people need very little excuse to think ill of others. It's a fact of life, impossible to stop. But some of them even go so far to present me with toys like this. They think it's funny. Toys? That bronze shield? Gotta be a story behind that one. Chief Prosecutor Sky. Yes. We first worked together on a case 2 years ago. It was my first big case. That's right, I remember. 2 years ago. I wasn't even a lawyer yet. Since then, I always felt that she was looking out for me. It appears I was mistaken. Mistaken? Why? I mean, I know she's not the warmest person, but I'm sure she felt some responsibility for you. Then, why? Why did she stab someone in the trunk of my car? Not only that, she stabbed him with my knife. What? Mr. Edgeworth, your knife was a murder weapon? Why do you carry around a knife? To be specific, it was a knife I keep in the toolbox in the trunk of my car. Edgeworth's knife added to the court record. The murder weapon, usually in Edgeworth's toolbox. Traces of victim's blood, no prints. Edgeworth? Well, we should probably take a look at that knife. Oops. This must be the victim's blood, right? Either that, or Edgeworth cut himself peeling an apple. What's Edgeworth doing with a knife like this anyway? Hey, maybe he spends his weekends roughing it in the wild. Edgeworth, in the wild? I think my fruit peeling theory is more likely. Are you kidding? I always pictured him as an outdoorsman. Now, there's a scary thought. What? Are you sure you didn't do it? Come on, can't you take a joke? You have a strange sense of humor, Mr. Wright. Hey, a chessboard. I'm not too up on my chess, but it looks like the blue's in a bit of a tight spot. The red knights have surrounded the blue pawn. Huh? Those horses are mounted knights. Their swords have really sharp edges. And check out that poor pawn. It's kind of spiky. Kinda reminds me of you. Mr. Edgeworth must be an avid chess player. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? Edges surrounding a pawn with spiky hair. Nah, it's nothing. Ooh, cute! What a pretty tea set. I come over to instant tea bags myself. Amazing! The drawer below is filled with packets of tea leaves. They're all sort of my place of origin and flavor. Look at this royal blend, what an exquisitely splendid concoction. There's such a thing as taking a hobby too far. My! What an amazing bouquet, just right for Mr. Edgeworth. No kidding. Hey, there's a card on it. Back from the dead, Wendy. Wendy. I've heard that name somewhere before. And beside it, a giant seal samurai. Wow, I want one. Huh? There's something written on the bottom of his foot. Between a rock and a hard place. Wendy. Wendy? Is he Mr. Edgeworth's fiancée? I don't think so. Wow, this jacket is even lacier than the usual ones. This must be his lucky trial jacket. Lucky jacket, right. I've never seen him wear it. I'm sure there's a story behind why it's in a frame. Maybe I'll be naughty and take a picture. He's getting way too excited about this. I've been wondering, what the heck is this? It has a big K on it.
Prosecutors.
Huh? What's that?
It's the King of Prosecutors trophy.
King of Prosecutors?
It's a great honor. They send that shield to the best prosecutor each year. What? So?
So that K, that's... K stands for king?
Yeah, you have a problem with that? I didn't design the thing.
King of Prosecutors. Kinda like Employee of the Month, only better. King of Prosecutors trophy, given to Edgeworth, King of Prosecutors, at the PD on the day of the murder. That's the King of Prosecutors shield, huh? Well done, Edgeworth. You must be proud to be the King of Prosecutors. Congratulations, King of Prosecutors!
Please, stop saying that.
That still doesn't explain one thing. Why is the tip of this shield broken off? Hey, check it out! There's a metal plate here. It looks like names of all the previous recipients are engraved on it. Wow, one guy's listed a bunch of times. Von Karma. I guess he must be a foreigner? Yeah, that's probably it. But wherever he's from, he must have been an amazing prosecutor. I'd like to meet this Mr. Von Karma sometime. When she says it, his name definitely does kind of have a ring to it. So, what about that knife, Edgeworth?
It's against my policy to discuss this evidence with the defense, especially with you.
Oops. He doesn't like you much, does he, Mr. Wright? Nah, with Edgeworth it's never personal. It's all about winning tomorrow. So basically this says you were the best of the best last year, huh?
You can take that foolish grin elsewhere, right? I lost a day of work to receive that travesty.
Huh? Why is that?
I had to go to the police department to receive that broken shield.
The police department?
Yes, right next to the police station downtown. You've been there, haven't you?
Where Detective Gumshoe works, yeah. I was wondering something about your shield. Why is it broken?
What does it matter? I've got more important things to worry about.
Oh, right. He doesn't seem too concerned about his award for better or for worse.
Yesterday was a very busy day for the prosecutor's office.
Maybe we should ask him more about yesterday? Could you tell me more about yesterday, the day of the murder?
Yesterday was the annual cleaning day at prosecutor's office.
Cleaning day?
Working with the police department, we sort and file all evidence for solved cases. We call it evidence transferal.
Wiping your hands about old cases, in other words.
Oh, and another thing. A ceremony was held at the police department. There's an annual review and awards for outstanding police officers and prosecutors.
And that's when you got this shield.
I was at the police department yesterday afternoon. I got back here at 5:12.
That's very precise. People like myself and Mr. Edward pride ourselves on our precision, Mr. Wright.
No, I place little faith in my memory. The only thing I trust is solid evidence.
Enter parking stuff after the court record. Record of parking at the prosecutor's office lot. Entered lot at 5:12 p.m. Miles Edgeworth, 1712. This is dated the day of the crime. The murder took place 3 minutes after Edgeworth parked his car. If only he was held up at a couple extra red lights, he wouldn't have been caught up in this whole affair. Perhaps. It just goes to show you never know what'll happen when you run a yellow light.
This is a parking stub from the underground lot.
The murder took place around 5:15. So the murder happened right after you got back.
What, right? I'd appreciate it if you direct that suspicious glare elsewhere. Excuse me, what is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm Edgeworth. What is it? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I got your report, sir. Report? What? Do you find new evidence in the case against Chief Prosecutor Sky?
I don't like the way this conversation going at all.
Sky, sir? No, sir! No name of that kind, sir. Not in this report, sir.
I think I just heard Edgeworth's lid blow. Mr. Edgeworth's lid isn't on very tight, is it?
I made a clear request to the police department, did I not? I need to focus on a trial tomorrow, so don't bring me anything unrelated. Sir, but sir! I'm just following orders, sir. They told me to bring this to you. I wasn't aware of the particulars of your arrangement with us, sir. Give me your name. Yes, sir. Meekins, sir. Officer Meekins. Right, Officer Meekins. Take your report and leave. And good luck with that raise next month. Ooh. But sir, I didn't know.
Poor guy. It's like he was absent the day he gave out brains and good luck.
Right? Yes, sir. It caught me off guard. As you can see, I'm busy. You may leave now.
Let's do what he says, Mr. Wright.
The victim was a detective from the same department as our patrolman just now. Go down to the police department. You can ask more there.
Thanks. He seemed to finally calm down at least. Not in the mood to banter, damn. February 22nd, Police Department. Entrance. Phew, we're finally here. How did they put the police department so far away from the prosecutor's office? Beats me. That took almost 30 minutes by taxi, and traffic wasn't even that bad. Police department, huh? I've only ever been to criminal affairs next door. Hold on, what's that? Disturbing! Why does it undulate like that? Oh wait, I know. This is the Blue Badger. They're trying to make him the police mascot. Wow, Mr. Wright, you sure know a lot about the police. We just overheard the police chief say it. So he does seem familiar somehow. Forget the Blue Badger. Who's that next to him? Someone appears to be dancing with the Blue Badger. Uh-oh, he noticed me. He sure is running over here fast. Hey,
pal, what are you doing here?
That's my line, Detective Gumshoe. Specifically, why were you dancing over there?
What? Well.
Well, at least he doesn't seem to be busy. This is our chance to get information.
Hey, I'll have you know I'm a very busy man, pal.
Oh, Detective Gumshoe, I am a lawyer. Here's my attorney's badge.
You showed this to me every time we meet, pal. The real men show their police badge. Nuff said.
I wish I had a badge. Even an ID card would be nice. Wait. Speaking of ID card, I found a detective's card, didn't I? What do you think of this prosecutor trophy, Detective Gumshoe?
Hey, that's it. That's the King of Prosecutors Award that Mr. Edgeworth got yesterday.
Were you at the award ceremony, Detective Gumshoe?
Of course, pal. I got an award for diligence myself.
Huh. Congratulations. I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken?
Ah, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later.
Apparently he's forgotten.
But I was proud, Mr. Edgeworth, for winning that award. Even with all the naysayers in the prosecutor's office.
Naysayers? Must be because of the rumors.
Found in Mr. Edgeworth's car, stabbed with Mr. Edgeworth's knife, huh? What would drive Chief Prosecutor Scott do such a thing? Wait, I didn't mean... I mean, sure, of course, someone else really did it. Someone who must have grudging at Mr. Edgeworth.
The car and the knife do seem a little too well organized to be a coincidence. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. What could have happened? I have to find out a little more about what's going on with Edgeworth. You recognize this, Detective Gumshoe? Detective Gumshoe? What can you tell me about this?
Huh? Hey, pal, this is a detective's ID card. You can't just keep that, you have to turn it into the police. People like you that get me into so much trouble all the time.
Meaning Detective Gumshoe must drop his card a lot.
Let's see. Bruce Goodman. Goodman. Sounds familiar. Nah, my mistake.
But didn't you work together with him in criminal affairs?
Whoa, now I remember. Bruce Goodman. He's the victim.
That's what I thought. Can you tell us more, Detective Gumshoe? First, what's with that blue badger? I was wondering about that.
What? The dancing blue badger? It's a masterpiece.
You made it, Detective Gumshoe?
The chief threw the guesses for the designs and I just did my thing, pal.
Nice work.
It's battery power, so it can go anywhere. There's no switch, so it just dances and dances until the batteries die.
Poor Blue Badger, fate to dance until he drops. Blue Badger panel added to the court record, a work of art designed by the Chief of Detectives and created by Detective Gumshoe. Look, that patrolman is saluting the other guy. He must be a detective.
And then I said, hey, you do that, your suit will get cold, buddy. That's hilarious, sir. I laughed so hard I cried.
I guess he wasn't saluting when he was wiping tears from his eyes. They make a good pair.
I'll give you one word of advice, pal. You better not agree to defend the suspect in this case.
Why not?
Huh? Well, it's just that the chief prosecutor confessed to the crime. She says she summoned a detective to the prosecutor's office and she killed him.
But what if she's not telling the truth?
Yeah, well, no, come on, pal. There's plenty of evidence against her.
But what if the evidence was faked?
Hey, pal. Can I speak to you for a second?
Huh? Me?
Why is this little girl so peeved at me?
She's a relative of the suspect. She's Lana Sky's sister.
Wow, the chief prosecutor's little sister.
Just please investigate this case carefully, okay? Scientifically.
Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, you might not want to keep your voices down. You don't want to be overheard using words like faint.
Huh?
It's just a sensitive issue with us these days.
So, what are you doing here, Detective Gumshoe?
Me? Ah, well, nothing really. They kicked me out of criminal affairs.
Detective Gumshoe, what did you do this time?
What do you mean, this time?
Then what happened? I know things are busy right now. I mean, with my sister's case and all.
Oh, it's true. We never had a chief prosecutor murder anyone before. Only the highest ranked people are being led into criminal affairs now. The lowest ranking guy in there is our chief of detectives. Not letting any of us rank and file detectives at all.
None of you? That is an important trial, but isn't that a little odd?
So anyway, I thought I'd spend the day getting the Badger dance down pat.
Is there anything else you could be doing?
The big chief of police himself is directing this investigation, pal. An Officer Marshall was assigned to the underground parking lot.
Officer Marshall. Now that I think about it, Emma did seem to know the Marshall guy.
A patrolman in charge of a crime scene? It's unheard of, pal.
So this ID card belonged to the victim.
He was a detective like myself. Detective Bruce Goodman.
Don't you think it's strange? I mean, why would the victim's ID card be lying on the ground where we found it?
Well, Detective Goodman should have been at the police department yesterday. It was an evidence transfer for a case he handled 2 years ago.
Evidence transfer? Mr. Edgeworth mentioned that too. But Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office.
Well, that's the thing. It's hard to say this, but what is that chief prosecutor Sky called him out there to the parking lot?
And Lana's confessing as much.
He's in a tough spot again.
Again?
Well, it all started with the murder of that defense attorney, Hammond.
But Mr. Edgeworth was found innocent.
Listen, pal, there have always been rumors about Mr. Edgeworth. Forging evidence, making deals with witnesses. Nothing outright, but there were always whispered rumors. Ever since he was accused of murder, no one's whispering, they're practically shouting.
But there's no evidence against him.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth has always had unusually strong ties to the department higher-ups. It's only natural that people will be suspicious.
I know, he was under the gun.
Anyway, this latest case has started a new rumor. People say the only reason he took this case is because he's aiming for the chief prosecutor position himself.
What?
But I know the truth, pal. Nobody wants to be the one who has to prosecute the chief prosecutor. Mr. Edgeworth is biting the bullet on this one. He's doing this for all of us. That's all I know about that. I'm not officially on the case, you know.
Thank you. Why aren't you handling the case, Detective Gumshoe? We met the guy who is. What was his name? The guy in the parking lot?
That'd be Officer Marshall. He was appointed directly by the chief of police.
Officer Marshall? Is he some kind of a Wild West sheriff or something?
Nah, Jake Marshall's a regular officer. From West LA.
For a moment there, I wasn't sure.
Look, Matt, let me try to make things a little easier for you. Show them this and they'll let you examine the crime scene. Maybe.
Detective Gumshoe letter of introduction added to court record. Letter of introduction received from Detective Gumshoe allows the bearer to investigate the crime scene. I'm surprised it gets us anywhere. Just act like it's supposed to be there and nobody will look at you twice, pal. Nope, nothing. Hey, look here. Looks like something's been crossed out. Maybe it was a letter or something to Detective Gumshoe. Let's see. Annual bonus, $20. I think a couple zeros are missing. No, that sounds about right, at least in that detective's case. Maybe I should rethink my career as an investigator. Or overworked detectives. February 22nd, Prosecutor's Office, Underground Parking Lot. Look at the investigation is still going. I had to be getting back to the shop. So, sorry, looks like I'll be stuck in this bit till the sun sleeps. Oh wait, no, this is, I think that's Angel Star and her boyfriend. See you in my dreams tonight then, baby. Oh, still here? Oh, hello? What a surprised looks, didn't I mention? I got a boyfriend in criminal affairs too. What happened to the security guard? Hey, what's wrong, Bambina? You're looking like a dog here. That's lost his head. Jake Marshall. Strange guy to put in charge of a crime scene. Would you mind reading this for me? What's this? I warn ya. Fan letters to me go right in the spittoon. It's a letter of introduction from Detective Gumshoe. May we investigate? Gumshoe? Ah, that old cow dog. Holding a birthday party or something? Huh? Look, where should it say letter of introduction? It says invitation. Ah, I think he just miswrote it. Wait, why am I getting all defensive here? No worries. This proves it's certain Detective Gumshoe better than a blood test. Guess I better let you in then. Thank you, Officer Marshall. Oh, that's right. He's a patrolman, not a detective. Which reminds me. Hey, wait a sec. Isn't a crime scene supposed to be handled by a detective or higher? Well, folks, the clues are calling. Welcome to our gold strike. Be like the settler. Strike out for lands unknown. Manifest destiny. Let's have a hootenanny. Note to self, police investigations are like settling land. Oh, Mr. Wright, what do you say? I say I won't be needing this anymore. Detective Gumshoe's letter of introduction crumpled and discarded. Nice to meet you, I'm a defense attorney. See your badge, looks pretty round. Our badge is a star, a lone star, shining in the nighttime sky. A beam of light illuminating evildoers who come in the dark of night. Note to self, evildoers are weak against starlight. Hey, that's a sheriff's badge. Officer Marshall, could you tell us more about the victim? Good men always die young. Remember that, partner. Could you be a little more specific? Bruce Goodman. He was a detective, right? Well, aren't you a feisty doggy here there now? Detective Goodman was stabbed here at 5:15. The smiling Madonna told me the tale. I think he means the witness, Miss Angel Star. One stab to the chest. Fine piece of work. This here's the autopsy report. Goodman's autopsy report. Death due to loss of blood. 1 knife wound. Died within an hour and a half, 4 p.m. Was my sister involved with the victim in any way?
Funny you should mention that, Bambina. Chief Prosecutor Scott and Detective Goodman had nothing in common at all.
Nothing in common?
They apparently worked together on a case a few years back.
So, there's no motive.
Goodman wasn't particularly a gifted detective. That's one reason why I didn't do much work with the chief prosecutor.
But my sister called the victim here on the day of the murder, right? Here, to this parking lot?
So it seems. I called an unarmed man to a shootout at high noon.
I don't mean any offense, but... Officer Marshall, you're a patrolman, right? Not a detective.
You call me out, they shoot you for that in Texas.
Huh?
I was one of them fancy shoe detectives till 2 years ago, to tell you the truth.
Oh, really? Now he tells me. But you're a patrolman now, so how can you be in charge of a crime scene?
Nothing gets by you, does it, Bambina?
So why are you in charge?
No reason. We're just short on hands right now. I'm keeping an eye out in the meantime.
That's odd, though. Detective Gumshoe was saying he had nothing to do. Nothing important, at least.
He's nothing but a sad old cow dog who can't find his tail. Maybe it's because he runs with that Edgeworth, eh?
Edgeworth?
That cow dog's been kicked out of his cattle run by order of the chief of police. Just, you don't realize it yet.
Detective Gumshoe kicked out the investigation. Let's see. Name of disease, Bruce Goodman. February 21st between 4 and 5:30. Loss of blood from chest wound. Wound was caused by a 4.5-inch knife. Single stab wound was found.
Ah, door shield. Suits the boy well. What exactly could you shield with that? A toy knot, maybe?
Officer Marshall, don't you have anything good to say about Mr. Edgeworth? You don't like him, right? We get the point.
Well, no, when I was a detective, I got one of these.
Let me guess. Did it have a K for King of Detectives on it? Hey, they could use the same shield over and over. Note to self, the prosecutor's office and criminal affairs are surprisingly cheap.
You know it. They've gotten cheaper with every passing year, I tell you.
What can you tell me about the victim?
Nope. What's that? Some sort of police passport?
This is Detective Goodman's ID card, strangely enough. We found it in a good distance away from the crime scene.
Good distance in this rat hole. If you want distance, get yourself to Texas.
Texas?
This is a tiny little crime scene in a tiny little town with tiny little evidence. What difference does a few yards make, compadre?
Note to self, if you encounter suspicious evidence, think of Texas. There's no better way to study it than to hang out with the pros. Well, might as well investigate the scene then. Let's get that cell phone that we saw earlier. This looks like a cell phone. Scientific analysis would suggest this belonged to the victim. I can think of anyone else who it could belong to. What's so scientific about that? Should we check it out? Right. Let's check it out. This phone's still on the redial screen. Redial? Mr. Wright? Most phones keep a record of all the calls you've made and received. You just press the blue button and display the last number you called. Convenient, isn't it? I'm surprised you didn't know about it. Sorry to disappoint you, but even I know about things like redial. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. It's just, you never know with people from your generation. Whatever, let's check this phone out. Yeah, to see who the owner of this phone called last. Note to self, the defense attorney doesn't think first, he just pushes the button. Beep. Hey, that song. I know that.
Hey, what's going on over there?
Beep. Sorry.
I see you, partner. You pressed redial on that there phone, didn't you?
Well, yeah. Whose phone is this anyway? It was on the ground over there.
Whose is it? That belongs to Chief Prosecutor Sky.
What? It's my sister's?
She apparently dropped it when she was taken into custody right after the crime. Look, the last call was made when the murder occurred. Looks like she was fixing to call someone. Except she only spoke for a few seconds according to this.
Who did she call?
No idea. Sorry, partner. Now, I got a question for you, partner. I heard a phone ring just now, one of those new-fangled ringtones.
Oh, that. Oh. I'm sorry, that was my phone.
What? Your phone?
Yeah, it's kind of strange, but someone called me right as we picked up the other phone. Wrong number.
I hope you're not lying. They shoot you for that in Texas, partner.
Uh-oh, I've incited the wrath of the Lone Star Patrolman. Self-financial court record. Property Lana Sky. Last call made at 5:18 on the day of the murder. This rope, is it? Yep, they laid it on the outline of the victim's body. So, wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him. You've got to be the only person that would come to that conclusion. It appears to be the car where the body was found. Looks like the lock on the trunk is busted. The crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. Highly luxury car. It just screams I have money to burn. Yeah, prosecutors get the big bucks. So, there's no connection between Detective Goodman and my sister.
That's correct, but there's a gold mine of evidence against her. And the prospect of tomorrow is none other than Edgeworth himself. I'm afraid your sister's fate is decided, Bambina. Many condolences.
Officer Marshall!
Yeah, Bambina?
How can you say that? You and my sister, you were... Is there something between this cop and her sister that I don't know about?
I apologize, Bambina. Something must have gotten to me. Maybe it's that dry wind that's blowing through the prospectus office.
Dry wind or ill will, someone's up to something here, but who?
Suspicions about Mr. Edgeworth have been flying around for nearly 2 years now.
Forged evidence and arranging testimonies, you mean?
He was unbeatable because he did whatever it took to win. Unbeatable, that is, till he met you.
But rumors are just rumors, aren't they? These are prosecutors we're talking about. Evidence is everything to them.
If you follow the rumors about Edgeworth to their source, you find one person. But they're off limits. Untouchable, you might say.
One person? Who?
I hate to say this, but It's your sister, Bambina. Chief Prospector Lana Sky.
What? My sister?
Edgeworth couldn't rustle all those cattle by himself. Some people load their guns with bullets. Some people load them with deals.
What, you're saying Edgeworth is making deals to win trials?
Where there's gunshots, there bound to be bullets. That's what the old-timers say. There's a big old secret hidden around here somewhere. Everyone knows it.
Is that why Detective Gumshoe was taken off the case? Did they target him because he was closest to Edgeworth? My sister's cell phone.
Last time it was used was 5/18, right after Goodman was killed. Maybe she was canceling her date for the night.
Why did Lana make that call?
Oops, no, oops, meant to go to office. Nope.
What's this? Looks like a note of some sort. Ah, there we go, that's what I missed. Look, something's written on it. You're right. Let's see. 6-7S 12-2. There's a name printed on the paper above that. Goodman. Maybe it fell out of his pocket when he was killed. Well, so? What does it mean, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Note to self, for deductive reasoning, go to Edgeworth, not Wright. I'm sure Edgeworth wouldn't know what this means either. Goodman's note added to the court record. So, well, how are we doing, Mr. Wright? I guess we got some clues. We have an autopsy report, a note from the victim, and a cell phone. So, you think we'll be okay? Well, the only thing still bothering me is that Lana is confessing to the crime. She says she did it. No problem. I can guarantee that she's not the criminal. Oh, by the way, Emma? Yes? I know that song your phone plays when it rings. What? I feel like the attorney shouldn't be doing this without police present. Well, if they were present, well, technically they are present, but, you know, technicalities. I mean, yes, a lawyer is not supposed to be going around gathering evidence and investigating, but, who's gonna stop us? It's a Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it? That popular TV show for kids? The phone that rang earlier wasn't mine. It was yours. At 5:18, just after the murder took place. Your sister called you, didn't she, Emma? I'm sorry. Can you tell me what you talked about? She hung up right away. I see. Cell phone, property of Lana Sky. Last call made to her sister, Emma, at 5:18 of day of the murder. A detective is murdered and the suspect is top prosecutor in the district. I got a bad feeling about this. Like, maybe I still don't know everything that went on here. To be continued. February 23rd, 9:34 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby, number 2. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Guy, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there's one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's gonna bail me out this time. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. February 23rd, 10 a.m. District Court Courtroom, number 9.
Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor.
Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in the courtroom since his trial.
I hope that personal feelings will not be part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment is to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot.
Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything.
However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to a crime. A professional witness. Then call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls the first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand.
Cough up, Queen.
Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered a caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar! I never eaten caviar before.
The judge is really wolfing it down.
Ah, and for you, I have a fiesta bowl.
Thanks.
Will the witness state her name and profession? You, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca.
What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like?
Name, profession, now.
Me? The name is Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. The judge must be recused from the trial now. For a lunchbox? I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth?
Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating.
Hurry it up.
Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective.
What? Miss Star was a detective?
Aha! I know who you are! Cough up!
Cough up, Queen Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see.
Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Star.
Just who is this lady? If I'm under the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks.
I suppose that's to keep the visitor from taking up prosecutor spaces, yes?
The crime took place by a car in the back of the A block in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot.
And who was this valiant witness?
Why, it was me, Your Honor. Parking lot floor plans added to the court record. The parking lot with Edward's car.
Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime?
Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor.
It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright?
I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining?
If you can, then give him your words, Miss Star.
Wait, are they talking about me? Witness's account. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. And then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest.
Bring a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching. As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point to the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman.
So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright.
Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime. Yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Star, you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, and as you know, my testimony is unbiased and flawless.
Very well, you may continue, Miss Star.
This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard.
That boyfriend? You have several?
Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, the other boyfriend. Care to join? Yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants.
I'll stick with the lunches, thanks.
Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. The security guard room is in the lot in A block. It's up on the second floor, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with a security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. You said something, so you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like, how would you say? Oh yes. It was like the feeling you could get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds.
I have no idea what that means.
Speaking of the detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese.
Young cheese?
A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with the experience on the streets. A greenhorn.
That must be hard, yellowed, and sharp as a tack.
Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. By garish car, you mean... Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes.
Mr. Edgeworth's?
Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's. Wasn't it?
Indeed it was. What an odd case this is! And the person you saw, you are sure it was the defendant?
I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I'm certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms, ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me? I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. Now I want some fried fish.
What? That was inspiring!
I believe I heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism? I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. A photograph! You took this! The moment I witnessed a crime, my reflexes took over and snap! I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunch boxes, it's rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck.
Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now?
You think I showed to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division at Criminal Affairs.
Well, this is most certainly the defendant.
Crime photo. The moment of the crime is photographed by Angel Star. Uh-oh. That is unmistakably Lana Sky.
So, what was the defendant doing at the time?
Oops, I need to check the court record. There we go. That looks like she got a white coat, gloves, and that's about it. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all.
Yes, that's about right.
Prosecutors are, by nature, well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify as to your ability to kill an egg, a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor.
So, the defendant was holding a knife. What then?
Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise a knife to strike, no?
The defense has a point.
Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes. The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a fresh one, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Our testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is it Sid? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that. Well, this was taken hold on. Maybe if this was taken before the stabbing, there shouldn't be blood on the coat? And you witnessed this. Well, that and the side is covered by the trunk. And you saw Miss Guy stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear on my finest salmon swirl lunch.
I'm sure that is a fine lunch.
But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is a photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Guy not holding a knife?
Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection.
That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth.
Yet it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. Oh.
Objection! And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat. But it's a black and white photograph.
Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem except you.
Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea. When in doubt, object. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Skye was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Objection! Premeditated? How do you know?
Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph. Are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. Yes, she would also have a murder weapon. These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation.
Premeditated murder. A serious offense.
Witness, hand us your testimony.
The murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. Yeah, well... Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell box lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk.
Indeed, it is my knife.
What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon, a red card all belonging to the prosecutor there? The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? I mean, are prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder. And that's why she was wearing those special gloves.
Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning.
However, why was she not also prepare the most important thing? The murder weapon. Oh! This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon!
Order! Order! Order!
Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free.
Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie.
What?
I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail.
But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory.
Bah. The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove. Nothing else.
Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing...
I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought.
How dare you! My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now. Angel's deduction. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor has a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive a human machine to plunge the knife in again and again.
The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it?
So if I order the pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy?
In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Thankfully, this time we actually see a contradiction from the get-go. Because it died to a one knife wound. You say she stabbed him again and again. But you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. What is that?
I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Star. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report stated that the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right! Good show, Mr. Edgewood!
What a hunt! He's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed.
Well, witness!
You got the crime scene set, right?
Oh, thanks.
I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible.
So, you're saying you mistook something for blood?
When she lifted a knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice.
And tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify!
Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. What muffler? Miss Star, I demand an explanation!
The witness is clearly not suited for detective work.
What?
The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you proved it yourself with this photograph.
Hey, who's a defense attorney here? But that can't be!
Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations! Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good!
In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. Who the hell's a defense attorney here? What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there! A scarf! No, not that, but something red! Really!
Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business.
What?
Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that.
Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, you couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Apprehending the suspect. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to the side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made it to escape, but against Angel's Star, resistance is futile.
You're quite determined about this scarf, aren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is kind of a snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. They're venomous snake bites, thank you. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will.
So where is this partition on the floor plans?
I'm sure she means this wall next to the car.
That's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do.
And what did you do then?
You say it quickly. Were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details. I like to see this on the floor plan just to be safe. The Lunchland car was...
She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block.
So you witnessed the murder from here?
I was making about 30 feet from the car, yes?
Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right.
But there was a chain link fence in front of you.
I went over it, of course.
Amazing! The cough-up queen, lunch lady athlete indeed.
It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. But she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did Miss Sky not get away? Is that objectionable? That is not objectionable. Oof. Might as well keep pressing. She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler.
Just that one word.
So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at this crime scene? Yes, ultimately.
Ultimately?
My memory... It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see.
No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr.
The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall?
That's right. Near the car, there's an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, it was out of order.
And so she used her cell phone. Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness.
Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying?
You should of course add this to your testimony.
Things I do to please the rookie defense attorney. Not a cell phone update in the court record. The word muffler was overheard during a call made to Emma at 5:18. She used her phone on the wall, but she had to use her cell instead. Well, that's where you're wrong, because you can't see past the partition. Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky.
Objection!
The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias.
Well, who would have thought that you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, This is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Ahem. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed a crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. Ah!
Order! Order! What is the meaning of this?
It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies.
That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told to the court.
Here's what a counterattack against. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about where she saw it. Miss Guy tried to use an emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it.
Pointless to lie, I see.
But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed a crime from a different location.
A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one.
Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it.
Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was a witness when she saw the crime?
All testimony we heard until now points in one direction. Afraid from where Miss Star witness's crime was? Here, at the security room. Take that! This is the only place where she could have been.
The security guard room? Indeed, the security guard room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone.
Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only way where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said, you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Star? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today a man has got the better of Angel Star.
Order! Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better.
I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright? Doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything.
Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands.
Objection! No, but the photo was taken on the other side. Still stands. I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason.
So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright.
Huh? Me?
Who else?
Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Star witnessed a crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference. But what? What would change? Distance to the crime? It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime.
Objection!
My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plan and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the gas station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see.
Objection!
What she saw was not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed a crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky?
Well, witness?
You. Yes? You ordered us squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches had gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch to my with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
Boysenberry for the boyfriend.
He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed a crime from the glass-walled station. Before what I knew I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in B block.
That's quite a detour.
It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime.
5 minutes? This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over there who, in the defendant's chair, who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spoke.
You have a point, and the spoke is a wonderful invention.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Absolutely.
Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? Sure, raise an objection. 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could have made pasta in that amount of time, if you like it al dente. Now I want some pasta. I've got lunch boxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange?
Strange.
If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone.
But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run, but this time was different. Miss Guy dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It is inconceivable.
Well then, it seems we come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go? Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated the witness on account of her professional history.
We did it. We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close.
I'm afraid the cop-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned.
Hold it! Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off on me.
I prefer not to take the defense's team's leftovers. Anything else to say?
I might not be able to save you. I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was that?
Is this another one of our trick lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Star.
Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
Woohoo! A triple-decker! Out of deference to the witness determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? I'm pretty sure bribing the judge is against the rules. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, for the matter of the victim's shoe, did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was of course the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence.
What? There was blood found on that shoe?
Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs.
Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is the first time I've heard of this evidence?
Simple, as I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself.
And you had blood tests performed?
Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics.
In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence.
What?
You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being.
Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You can at least study some evidence law, really.
The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfied the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness.
Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. Victim's shoe, white enamel shoe, bear traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Sky.
Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Oh yeah, I should probably observe the shoe. This blood is my sister's, right? It appears so. Lana's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime. Poor sis. Ooh, there's blood here too. On a sole's shoe? It's gotta be the victim's. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. All this blood, it's horrible. This blood might be an important clue. Is it really decisive? Damn. Alright, we're pressing again then. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blink means nothing.
Then why didn't you just tell the truth?
Don't make me laugh.
We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors.
Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. That's when the suspect is admitting she did it.
False testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with.
And you found the shoe at the scene of the crime. I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive.
So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe.
I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon should that happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really.
In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next.
So, you brought it to the forensics department. If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. She got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective.
The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it.
Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman. As I said, there are 2 types of blood found in the shoe. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie. Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types, A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood.
That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright.
Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there. Which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Miss Lana Skies.
So the suspect blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties it directly to the death of Detective Goodman.
I was afraid he was going to say that. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You order the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some, like your client, she's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? Sure. But I'm not imagining things. I say there is one critical problem with its evidence. A clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Shows the problem with the evidence.
Well, this part.
Take that!
The bottom. I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of this shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe.
Indeed. There is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe.
It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife.
What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of his shoe?
Well, there wasn't any blood on the crime photo.
Take that!
Well, not on the... It wasn't pooled at the bottom of it. The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint. Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime?
Aha!
As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprint at the scene of the crime. And that contradicts your claim about this shoe.
Objection!
This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints.
Objection!
Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort.
Order! Well, witness!
What? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh,
It's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint.
think, Mr. Wright, think. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just kind of finding contradictions. What?
Hold it. I see. Now I get it.
Get what?
Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about?
Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr.
I thought that was a strange thing for a normally cool-headed chief to do.
No kidding.
Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty?
Oh, that, I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory.
Witness, well, was the oil drum empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean?
So don't get it, Mr. Wright. Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? Aha! You don't mean... Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie quite clearly to this murder. Then after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs.
Why, that's the prosecutor's specialty. Erasing evidence. That reminds me, this guy's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him? So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe?
Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial.
Mr. Wright, do something, please! What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But...
Enough! There is no need for further debate. The verdicts, Your Honor. Very well.
But Angel Star's on the prosecution side. She could have been lying about the water.
This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky.
Hold it! Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence.
Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else.
Objection!
The time for deliberations has passed. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court.
Your threats don't scare the Kaffa Queen. Look at this!
A photograph?
I had it just in case anyone had the gall to just suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
Mr. Wright, wait! Look at the asphalt in this photo. Hey, it's clearly wet.
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia. Right, wet or not. Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence.
Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Objection!
Your Honor, wait!
What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait?
But no, it can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration.
So, Wright. Are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence?
I forgot to check it, so let's see. God damn. Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I gotta go ahead with this.
I suppose since we come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem in this photograph.
Well, there's that thing in the muffler.
Take that!
The problem in this photograph is here.
What's this? There's something poking. There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor? You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph. A muffler is also a part of a car or a motorcycle, Your Honor. But just think of it as a part of the exhaust system, a pipe. I see, and I see. There's the suspicious looking claw sticking out of the car's muffler.
So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does it have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Objection!
Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much as in your testimony. What?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case.
Take that!
Miss Starr? Recall your testimony for the court. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's when I had me confused at my earlier testimony. Muffler? Ah! Yuck! Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. No.
Well, it seems we will have to suspend the proceedings.
Suspend?
I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car to crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so.
Phew. That was close. But we made it. At least for now.
This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all.
He's still hungry? To be continued. Gotta quickly get some water and come back. Alright, there we go. February 23rd, 11:56 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby, number 2. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Normally they're shorter. Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake, about to reach the surface. But no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there? Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So, this is when we turn the trial around, right? Our only weapon? A tiny insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hola, partner. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me back when I was a young'un, at least. Officer Marshall! I thought I'd come take a look, see how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That ought to slip out, huh? What is going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen for the last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say. Well, don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. Saw it that day too. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the awards ceremony that afternoon. Edgeworth's seen it too, I reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken. Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. Ugh, I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee. But now I want some steak. February 23rd, 12:32 p.m. District Court Courtroom number 9.
I'd like to resume?
What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution.
Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused, you're doubled over, your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen.
I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth.
Well then, I believe it is time we continued with this trial. During our recess, I requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable! It seems our prosecutor is quite besides himself. Excuse me. Knock knock. Who's there?
What's with this guy? A strange, stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Hey, the temperature was 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he?
Ah, it's you! Oh! Sorry I'm late, Archie. The roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, eh, Archie? How you been? Swim much these days? Oh, hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy, smizzy, Archie, my boy. You have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed.
Aji, thinking he's nickname for the judge? I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. I'm sorry, but who are you?
Aha! So you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son.
Eh? Thanks?
So sorry about our Worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly.
Little Worthy?
Mr. Wright! You don't know the district chief of police?
Chief of police?
He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Name's Gant, Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's Worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this.
Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So Miss Star wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe.
On little Worthy's car, no less. It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. What's this? It's what you call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth! How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, is there? Miles Edgeworth? That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made.
This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words.
This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. Gah. The court accepts new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defense a favor first.
Yes?
Just to be sure. I'd like to take a look at that blade of this knife.
The blade, Your Honor. Well, I don't see why not.
Would you open it up for me, I wonder?
Yes, well, I think you all have to do is push that switch and...
If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I won't be able to pound my gavel anymore.
Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I won't be able to point it at people anymore. Come on, just hurry up and open it. There's a small tag on this knife. It seems to say SL92. What does that mean? Well, I've heard something similar. DL6, of DL6 incident fame. But it's strange. Huh? What is? I'm not certain, but I have the feeling I've seen this somewhere before. Letters like this, or letters that look a lot like this, somehow. Well, if we turn it upside down, it looks like a 6-7-S. Yeah. Don't scare me like that. I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off. And this dark red stain. Blood? Switchblade knife added to the court record. Found at the crime scene, wrapped in the defendant's muffler. Small tag attached.
This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us? About the split between the prosecutors and the police, and this knife? Sure thing. Not a problem. Not even a little one, really.
Department in disorder.
This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. At the time of the crime, 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this case, so I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department. A detective! That's hush-hush information, Udgy. We haven't exactly announced it yet.
Objection!
Well, wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Order! 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 Anyway, we at the department were all flustered, as you might well assume. But we're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department situation. Oh, Mr. Wright?
Two detectives killed at the same time at two different places. The chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness.
Very well, however, keep your questions focused on the case at hand.
Well, I mean, we did find this note.
Objection!
Damn. I guess I have to keep pressing first.
Hold it!
Excuse me. Special?
Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else.
Might that special thing be this little tag?
Oh, sorry, Righto, but I can't say that now. Not that. We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was his knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime? That's quite a mystery. And like a mystery, it's wrapped in something. A muffler.
And this knife was found on the scene of the crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you?
You see, there's a lot of things that go on at the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto.
Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine the knife while we can, Righto. Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. We've got the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that's had me stumped all this time. Oh, I guess I have to do it for this one. Wait a second. Ah, at last, an honest-to-goodness objection. This knife. This has to do something to do with good Detective Goodman.
What do you mean?
Aha! And honest to goodness, what do you mean from Udgy? This is great. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92.
And this is important. Why?
Over here, we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim.
What's this? 6 minus 7S. December 2nd.
Your Honor, it's upside down.
Upside.
The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what do you get?
Ah! Aha!
Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down.
SL9. That's the same thing that was on the knife's tag. Order! Order! Well, Chief?
Ah, well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, righto. I win? Ah. What game is this guy playing? This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. So this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say? Was it in fact a murder weapon? Nice! Nice, nice. Good show, Little Worthy. It was a murder weapon as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder, and it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. Something happened to the police department too, huh? You got a good look in your eyes there, righto, my boy. Very sharp, hungry. So, something did happen, and why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You were busy with Lana's case and all. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? On the same day the detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot. Another detective was killed at the police department? That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Udgy?
I'm at a loss for words.
And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, righto. I suppose I could help, if you help me by giving me data on your case. Oh, good one, this kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. Well, where the victim was found at the police department. When the victim died, he already said that at 5:15. So how was the victim killed? How's the detective killed? How was he killed? Now, that's the interesting part. It was what we are in the force call a stabbing with a knife. Knife? That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit. We're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean? There were more similarities between the two cases and the cause of death. It seems like I'm gonna have to press this a little harder. 5:15. But that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office.
What? Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's place, a murder at our place at the very same time. What are the chances?
Coincidence? This is just my gut feeling, but I say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening. Chief Gant, please tell us more about the incident. How can you say there's no connection?
How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, Righto. You understand? I do understand, Righto. But if you can prove there's a connection, more power to you. Maybe there is something that ties the two murders together?
Whatever it is, I better find and get to the bottom of this. Two detectives were killed at 5:15. One of the prosecutor calls and one of the police calls. Can't be a coincidence. And that knife, what was it doing there? Where was the victim found?
Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department.
The evidence room? Wait a second. I have heard of that. The evidence room? Didn't he mention that in the testimony just now?
This knife was discovered in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room.
There's a connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go town on this case. The link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now I can get Gant to testify about the details. What do you mean that's not valid? Oh, I had to press. Damn it. Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven.
Huh, you don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright.
The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room.
Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag.
And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room.
Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right there. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all.
Can we get the information
unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all.
What? Really? Who would have guessed?
I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay?
If you're gonna tell us a little, why not tell us everything?
Ah, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly.
Oh well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of them. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number?
Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that.
Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all.
to keep a tight lid on ID numbers. Don't go getting your hopes up. Number is 5842189. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82. I can't do it.
You didn't even get the first number right.
Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything?
The ID number of the victim in the police department, 5842189. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think.
Meaning?
It has to be what I think it is. What does this mean?
Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department. Tells you something? What does it tell you?
Take that!
Who the victim was. Witness.
What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night.
No, it's just, I got confused.
And this is news?
Huh?
Just come out with both guns blazing, like you always do.
The police department. Prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here.
Oh, is it yours?
No, Your Honor, I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman.
Shame on you, Righto. Personal IDs are top secret.
Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189.
And this means what exactly?
Huh?
Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82. I've forgotten.
You didn't even get the first number right. Again! The number the chief of police gave us was 5842189.
Objection!
What? Wait a second, Wright. What does this
mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that?
Oh, sharp as a tack, Righto. Sharp as a tack. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot.
Yet a detective, Bruce Goodman, was also killed at the police department. In the evidence room at the exact same time.
Objection!
That's impossible. So what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time, in a completely different location. Order! 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 Chief, what does this mean? No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said, wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error? Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How dare? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins?
Mr. Wright, where have you heard that name before? Wait, aha! Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I got your report, sir.
You don't mean him?
Well, according to Meekins, you didn't accept the report.
Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. He said that the report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room.
Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right at the top of the report.
Ah! Why didn't your officer tell me?
Honestly, I'm not sure if the officer was capable of making the connection. He seemed challenged. In any case, this is a serious error, a gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy.
Objection!
But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then no such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy. What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law,
Mr. Wright?
Huh? It's, Rule number 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. How is this rule relevant? Normally, you just submit a list of evidence to be used in the court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. A connection was just proven by Wrighto over there. Good job, Wrighto, my boy.
Huh? I was just doing my job.
No. No! It seems we have come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy, what with all those rumors. You weren't even in the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened. If it's the last thing I do, you'd better get results this time, really. You have my profound apologies, sir.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth.
I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Would that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned.
To be continued. I think that's where I want to call it a night. Bye.